Don't forget to go to the Patreon channel when you get a chance. The store, we got all the Goodfellow memorabilia and stuff. And first off, I'd like to just say this is just a special episode I want to do because we got 4,000 subscribers. So I want to say thank you to everybody, answer some questions. And I want to also apologize for not being around that much. If you guys didn't know before, but I was in Florida with my buddy Dominick Cicale from Mafia Roundtable, Cicale's Corner Unfiltered. We did a show there, so tune into that if you wanted to catch that episode. But like I said, we're here, and we're going to be back doing our usual stuff again, too, with some fresh news stories. I've been talking to a lot of friends, and I don't know, I might be with Dominick, too, again. We might be doing a lot of different things together as well, too. So with that, anyways, it's a beautiful day. I went to the gym this morning. I went yesterday and today. Let me tell you something. I don't know what it is, but I am sore. I asked Dominick. He's going to get me some of the protein stuff that he's doing and all of that kind of stuff. I went to his gym. We had an excellent workout. Dominick is still in great shape. And it was kind of really nice working out with him, hanging out with him. He was really gracious, very good host. I stayed with him. And Maddie and the dogs, the cats. It was. I also have a video showing up here about some song that I sang. Am I right about Old Soul of Mia in the restaurant? We were in there. And Dominick asked me to sing. I also sang karaoke in one of the places too, and I might even do a little something today. We'll see on the live podcast. Also, it was really good to get back home, get back into your own routine because it does change. I was also glad to get back to my fiance Giovanna. It was really you don't ever know how much you miss somebody even when you're far away. But I'm going to take it with me next time. We're going to have some fun with Dominick and stuff like that. But yeah, I had a really good time. I did miss all the fans. I just can't thank you guys enough for tuning in, being patient with me. And so I definitely want to answer some questions. There was some stuff about a couple of guys. One guy was talking about my last episode. He had a mobile gas station. And I think if he's talking about the one that I think he's talking about, I think the mobile gas station was on Shore Road, or sometimes they call it Pelham Road. I think it was on the end there. And that's not too far from where I spoke about Greasy Nick's, which was another hangout that, we all would hang out there once in a while, go out there for hamburgers and stuff, and even though they called it Greasy Nick's, it was a really good place. But Shore Road, I believe, is what he's talking about, and stuff like that. Of course, then there was some other guys from the Bronx saying some things and stuff like that. So I appreciate all your. I don't even mind the bad comics. The guy calling me a crybaby and all that kind of stuff too. That's okay. Listen, I'm a real person and I got real feelings, and I put them out there. If you got something to say about it, that's on you. You know what I'm saying? As far as I'm concerned, I don't care about all that other stuff that doesn't hurt me or anything like that. But like I said, I was in the gym. I'm getting back in shape. I put a few pounds back on, but the winter's coming now. Okay, September. So I'm ready to get into it, especially now that I'm going to be 64 in December and that kind of stuff like that. I don't know if you had any questions lined up or anything some comments or anything like that or whatever?
No comments yet on the live. But I wanted to ask, what all did you and Dominick do in Florida?
Oh, my God. Dominick is he's almost exactly the same as when we were Wise Guys together because he is non-stop. So you guys, when you see Dominick on Cicale's Corner Unfiltered, Mafia Roundtable, when he says he's tired, believe me, he was running me ragged, okay? He's boom, 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 nonstop, going here, going there, phone calls, and he's very serious about everything that he's doing. He always was, since I known him. So, but we had a lot of fun. We had good food. We ate. We laughed. It was really good just to hang out with him again. It really was. I missed him. I still miss him now. So, but we're working things out, and who knows? I think it looks like 90%, 95%. I'm going to be with him, maybe more. So we're working things out because we got a lot of stuff coming. He's even got a lot more stuff coming than I do. But yeah, we had a Oh, we went bowling, we went this, even that was on a fun time. But I was exhausted after that trip. I'm not gonna lie to you. Now I actually drove there, so it took a long time for me to drive. But I don't like to fly. But what are you gonna do? It is what it is. And also, this show now it's on. We started at 3:30, and I'm not only gonna stay on it for a little while because my buddy's time is coming up on 5 o'clock, and so I don't want you guys to miss his show at all either.
Silver said, "Are you going to do the sit down with Gene, Hootie, and Dom?"
Actually, Gene, yeah, we would talk. It's possible. If they ask me to do it with them, let's put it this way. Most of the time, I still do what Dominick ever asks me to do because, he's always got my best interest at heart. And, I would definitely do to sit down with them. Yeah, and then plus I'm finally going to meet Gene face to face, which is good too. I've been looking forward to do that. So it would be good. It would be definitely good. Yeah, I would definitely do it. So the answer to that question is yes.
Who's Hootie?
Hootie is. I think I think he does stuff with Gene, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know the whole thing of it. I actually don't even watch sometimes my own show because I'm just so busy myself doing my own things here. But I think he has something to do with Gene. Now I don't know the relationship there. I don't know. What it all stands for and what they do, but I'm sure there'll be a reason for it. I mean, a lot of people get together, all of us, especially guys that been in the life. Like you guys seen on this show too. I had Gene and Dominick on too, and I'm always going to ask them. They have an open seat here. They can come anytime they want. Am I right?
Absolutely.
So I would definitely do that with Gene. But, I know there was some other comments, too. We missed so many comments. It's so hard to catch up sometimes, believe me. Another one come up on there? I can't see it.
David Goulman asks, how was it hanging with Dominick after all these years?
Oh, my God. It was almost like, to be honest with you, David, it was almost like we didn't even miss a beat, to be honest with you. We fell right into it. There was no strain. There was no... he's going to do more for me, I'm going to do more for him or anything, it was just, we just fell right back into it like we never lost a beat, to be honest with you. So, I actually wish I didn't have to go, to be honest with you. But that's what we're talking about things, Dominick and I, and I think I'm going to, it's very possible that I'm going to be with him more often. So, yeah, but it was a lot of fun. And like I said before, he's busy. He's like he was when he was in the street. The guy would sleep maybe 4 hours, and that was it. The rest of the time, he was either hustling here, doing this, there. But, just a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun, too, though. Good seeing him.
Silver says, you've got a great show. Keep it up, brother. I watch it all.
Oh, wow. Thanks, Silver. I appreciate that. I try, I want to bring some more stories. I've been talking to some other friends. I'm going to try to start a whole new regiment of stories. I don't know if you guys like a lot of the fight stories that I talk about. I've had so many more fights. The only thing I regret is the couple of times that Dominick was hanging out and I didn't get a chance to fight with him to show him what I was capable of. Because Dominick was rough too. We fooled around the gym one time. I threw him a couple of shots. He threw a couple my way. And, Dominick's a badass, you know what I'm saying? But, I got some more fight stories. I got some more... murder for hire stories. I got some more stuff coming. I'm just careful because some people misconstrued it and they always try to, whatever. You guys know what I'm talking about. But thank you for that comment.
Another one from David. He asks, does Dominick ever joke or mess with you about you being undercover?
He probably would have, before he cooperated, I think he would have killed me. So he says, it's a good thing you didn't say nothing to me because I would have killed you. So yes, David, he jokes around, but he was serious though too, because he would have been pissed off back then, without a doubt. And if he would have found out even before he got locked up and cooperated and all of that, I would have been dead. So it's kind of a joke, but I think personally he would have felt bad about shooting me and killing me, but I would have understood, and that's the life. It's very treacherous, the life. But yeah, Dominick jokes around. Believe me, Dominick is very funny. We laughed almost. I can't tell you how much the stuff we were doing. We laughed. Sometimes we just laugh at crazy stuff too. So yeah, we did a lot of joking.
Just wanted to give a shout out to Silver real quick. I believe he's a Patreon subscriber and the channel subscriber. So thank you very much, Silver, for your support.
Yes, thank you so much for that. Appreciate it. That's why I got my guy. He's the best on the computer. He's the best. He keeps me informed. There's a lot of things he tells me about the show and how to operate it. I yes him to death, but I don't have a clue what he's talking about. But that's why he's there and I'm over here.
Elise Buer says, was it Anthony Hootie Russo?
Hootie
is, she's asking.
I don't know. Because I watch Gene's show as when I can. Of course, I like Gene, so obviously I watch when I can. But if he, it might be that guy. I don't know. But like I said, if Gene or Dominic asked me, because I like Gene too, I would come if he asked me to try to do a show with him. I would definitely do his show or come and see him. When I was down there, I was only down there for a short time. Otherwise, I think we would have probably took a ride to see Gene too. Absolutely.
Gerald Southam says, Joe, if that never happened to your father, do you think you'd still be in the life as you were close to becoming a made man?
That's a hell of a question. I thank you for that question. Something, if nothing happened to my father, I definitely would have never cooperated. That's a fact. Some people want to believe it or not, that's fine. But I know myself, I would have never cooperated because I still wound up doing 4 years anyway. I did it like, it was time. You just do it. So even if I would have got more time or whatever, you just do it. I don't know. I can't explain it. I'm not saying that, I love jail, I don't care. No, you just do it. It's just something it's part of that life. But I didn't really want to be a wise guy. I was happy doing my own thing. Look, I told everybody before when I was a kid, I was smoking pot. I started smoking when I was 11 years old, weed and maybe selling some weed on the street at one time and taking pills of THC back in those days. So, I was kind of like that, but it was nice just to know you had connections. And to be honest with you, my father was the biggest connection I had until I got into the life myself. And then it became Dominic and all of that. But yeah, I don't think I'd be in that life because as much as they pretend that it's glamorous, it really isn't. It's really treacherous. And I was fortunate. God was looking out for me. I was fortunate because I had met Dominic. Dominic never, I used to loan shark money. Dominic never asked me. I never kicked up any money to him. He never asked me for that. Now, if I was doing something, I was making big money, I would have brought it to Dominic anyways. He wouldn't even had to ask me. But I was very fortunate to meet and be around like Dominic. But I definitely wouldn't want to be in that life.
James Brown asks, how much prison time were you facing in that case that you beat?
The second one I think he's talking about, right? The murder for hire charge?
Yeah,
okay.
probably.
Yeah, that's probably if that's the case you're doing, I probably was facing about 10 years there too as well. They said my first case I was facing 10 years, but I don't believe that at all. Some people say it, some people don't. I don't. That's what they said, but who really knows? You know what I mean? You always take a plea and you get less anyway. But for the murder for hire, I was facing 10 years. And like I said, I did 15 months in the box straight. And 19 altogether on that second bid. So, I think that's what we were supposed to get, 10 years.
Another one from James. They said, love the channel. Keep up the good work.
Thank you, James. I'm trying. I want to bring you guys, listen, like I told you before, I have no reason to lie on this show. Everything you guys will read about me or even that's out there. I also have paperwork on the Patreon channel. Everything I say is straight up. I try to be honest. If I do make a mistake, I'll always own it and take up to it. Just like I always said, I cooperated with the government. You want to call me an out-and-out rat? That's fine. That's exactly what I did do. So I'm not. I don't hide anything or nothing like that. It's all out there, and it is what it is.
Another one from James. He said, 10 years is crazy. How much time have you done total?
So I did actually when you go to the box, they give you 2 days. For every day that you do in the box. So if I did 15 months in the box there, you want to say 30 months there, so it's just a little shy of 3 years there. I did 4 years of my first bid, so figure you want to round it off to say 7 years maybe, like that total. I did a few overnighters here and there, but nothing crazy. But yeah, about 6.5 to 7 years total. Not a real lot of time considering the people I hung around with did a lot more than that. Okay, look at Dominic. Look at Barney, my father's boss at that time in the Genovese family. He did like 18 plus years or whatever. So a lot of people got a lot of time under their belt. But, I still did it. I never complained when I was there doing it. So,
David Goulman says, I can't imagine what prison is like.
This is what you have to do, David. It's like, let's face it, prison sucks, bro. But you just do it. You go there. You have to. You're under the thumb of every. You're being watched all the time. Then you gotta deal with the COs. Sometimes you get a decent one here and there. Sometimes you don't. Okay. In Otisville, when I was there for a while, there was a guy named Shoemaker. He was there. He was a good guy. And you get a couple of them when I was in the state too. In Valhalla, there was a couple of guys there. They knew a few of my friends that worked there. So a couple of CO guys that I knew, and they were okay too. But then you got the other guys that you're with there. So you get a real jerk off. You of course you got everybody's the racism. If you think racism is bad outside, it's a lot worse when you're in. Believe me. But I met some guys from the Bloods, the Crips, and everything. Really, really good guys. I knew a guy from MS-13, Mexican Mafia. These guys were, believe it or not, they were great. They were nice. One guy was in the Mexican Mafia. I don't know how he did it. We were in the box together. He was built. I can't tell you the build. Now, he was short, and he used to go like this. Okay, tsunami, and he would flood the cell, and I'd have to pick up everything off the floor because the whole place was done. And then
how would he flood the cell?
He would clog up the toilet and then keep flushing it, and it would all flow. Then he used to like to do the song. He said, do my song. I said, okay. So I used to go. So the Cucaracha song, and he goes, yeah, that's my song, Joe. And so you make the best of it. But listen, you do reading. I wrote a lot of poetry on my first bid. Maybe I'll even bring some of those in, or maybe put them on the Patreon channel so you guys can read it. But it's kind of it's personal, it's poems, so we'll see. But you just do it, and you get into a rhythm, a pattern. I used to work out with this guy. His real name was Steven. We called him Mike, and my friend Jimmy. He was from Connecticut. We fought together in the prison and everything too when I was in Milan, Michigan. And I met some good guys out there too. So. Even guys from New York that I never knew before, but you just do your time. But let's face it. I mean, who's going to tell you? You say you don't mind prison, but you're better off in the street. You know that. But that was a good question. Thank you, Dave.
R. Cole says, "Who did you rat on? May I ask?"
So I don't know if I ratted on any one particular in person. I just gave the information to the FBI agent. Vincent Pizzuti was my handler at that time. He, if there was a murder in the street, he probably wanted to know a little bit about it, or, who was doing what, who was with what family. It wasn't like I knew exactly everything that was doing. See, listen, where I'm from and the way I grew up, you do something, you commit a crime, and you get away with it, you never talk about it again. I mean, look, I got away with, a couple of things. I think I even talked about one here that I got away with, but, it's all out in the open now, and whatever the case may be, but... You do a murder, you do anything like that, you just never talk about it again. And so, but as far as anything like that, I couldn't really tell who did this or who did what. I could tell what I heard in the street. So it wasn't like I'd even told, even though, there was some things about some people who I really just hated in that life anyways. Like from the Genovese family, like you had Sally Larker and Hippie and all those guys. Those guys were, I don't even know how they got straightened out. To be honest with you, I mean, I had a better chance of being a wise guy than they ever did too. But, I feel like they needed people to keep the ranks going, and that's why they got straightened out. And I had my own suspicions about them, about Ralphie Coppola and stuff like that. But yeah, I can't really say that I really said, one person in particular, But that's a good question. Thank you for that.
Gerald Southam says, "Thanks for the reply, Joe. Also, I asked Dom on his channel if he was still in the life. Does he think he'd be the boss of the Bonannos now? He said yes. Do you agree?"
Yeah, I do, because Dominick really had the makings of a real gangster, of a real wise guy. Look, Dominic already was a boss. Just so you guys, so you could understand. Dominic was a captain. When you're a captain, believe it or not, you're a boss. Dominic had over 20 something guys in his own crew running the show. Of course, Vinny put that guy. I don't. No offense, Dominic. Michael Mancuso, Mikey knows. Mikey the Washroom, Mikey. There's so many names to call Mike, but he had no clue on how to really run the family. Dominic really had a grasp on it. Dominic was groomed from very young. And it showed. Look how close we still are. And Dominic, these people still want to talk to Dominic. And Dominic knew how to run things. To be honest with you, his mentor taught him well, and then Vinny actually polished him even further. And so as far as I'm concerned, yeah, Dominic definitely would have been the boss. And if he was, then I still would have been in that life. But yeah, he already was a boss, just so you know, because he was a captain and he was in charge of, I guess, 20-something guys in that crew. And it was a good crew. Dominic had a really good crew. A lot of the guys I liked. I liked Anthony Donato. I liked Ace. There was a lot of good guys in that crew. So, yeah, it was he was a boss already. So it was one more step up would have been nothing for Dominic. Yep.
Well, did that crew have a name or no?
No. We were in the Bonanno family. That's it. We didn't have like a real, but all the guys in there were like look, Dominic was good looking, Vinny was good looking, Ace was good looking, Anthony Donato was. All these guys were all good looking guys. Everybody was dressed nice. Everybody carried themselves well. So, but yeah, that's about the best answer I give you that one. I agree with Dominic.
Sonny Grosso says, "How did you pass time in the hole?"
Hey, Sonny, good question. I did a lot of writing. I wrote a lot. I read a lot. Of course, I read the Bible because that's the easiest thing to read there. You get that. I got some stuff sent in to me. At that time, the girl I was dating at that time sent me stuff to read, envelopes and packages and envelopes, all kinds of stuff. So that really helped pass the time. Of course, I did the push-ups, the sit-ups, all the rest. I slept when I could. I went outside every day that they allowed me to, Monday through Friday. Even when it was raining, snowing, whatever, I did. Matter of fact, I was in the cell, and so there's a little narrow window about this big. It's got the things, and some little falcon, they're around. It was about this big. He sat right on the window, and he couldn't see me, and I was right there, and I was like, wow. And I thought that was a great sign, when I was praying a lot to get me out of this deal because, I was innocent. I really was. I was not guilty. I won my trial because of that, and I was happy. But that's what you do. We do the fishing under the door. We'll pass some magazines back and forth to each other's cell. Sometimes we were able to get a Snicker bar because you had about this much space underneath the door. That's where the mice and everything would come in. We would laugh. You hear people talking at nighttime. You add into the conversation sometimes. But yeah, it's 23-hour lockup during the week, but on Saturday and Sunday it's 24 hours, and that's it. You don't get out. But thank you for that question.
R. Cole says, "Did you know Dennis DeLucia, or Dennis DeLucia?"
Dennis Lucia. That I don't know but it does sound very familiar.
DeLucia, maybe.
I can't see it from there, but anyways, it sounds familiar. Now, it doesn't ring a bell right off, but it does sound very familiar. And I don't never want to say if I don't know somebody. But, yeah, I don't remember offhand.
Johnny Provolone is here.
Hey, Johnny, what's going on, brother? Wow.
He says, "What's up, brother? It's been a while."
It has, yeah. It really has. I hope things are going well with you. Good to hear from you again. Thanks for coming on. And 5 o'clock, Mafia Roundtable, so I won't be on too long.
R. Cole says, "I watch Dom every night. It's nice when you guys are both together."
Oh, thank you, R. Cole. Appreciate that. Yeah, there's a lot of good chemistry between Dominic and I. Look, Dominic, when we were together in the street and he was a gangster, like, let's put it this way. We were in the city. We were in Manhattan. It was wintertime. And there was like a few of us. We had a ball. I mean, just walking around Rockefeller Center, having a few drinks, going out. Like I said, Dominic he's a lot of fun, and especially when he loosened up. It wasn't all about business with Dominic. he took care of what he had to take care of, and when he wanted to have a drink and relax, we didn't even talk about things like that. I just said I'll see you tomorrow, and I'll call you tomorrow. And he knew what that meant. I knew what that meant. But yeah, thank you for that. I appreciate that. I like being around Dominick. I have no problem with that at all. Matter of fact, I miss him, like I said.
David Goulman says, didn't you spend like 2 years in the hole?
Just about. Well, 15 months. Definitely 15 months. I was on my first bid too. I spent like a month, I think, the first time in Otisville. That box was pretty nice. Like in there, it wasn't even that bad. The ones in MDC weren't that nice, and believe it or not, there was another one that Dominick was in where they have exclusive for terrorists. That's even worse. So yeah, it was 15 months total. But I did 19 months on the second bid, so another 4 months in GP, which is general population. That's where Joe Waverly and a couple of guys go, is that the guy over there? Because now it came out that, I was working with the government.
Elise Buer says, what did you like best about growing up in the 60s? I don't remember. Were you in New York City as a kid? And what was the city like back then?
Okay, Elise, yeah. So I was born in the 60s, but my era for really hanging out was probably the 70s. Listen, it was a whole different world. No phones, none of these computer things. Food was different. It was a whole different world. Just a cool life. That's why people were cool back then, like in a way, I actually am proud and happy that I grew up in the generation I did. I also even like the generations before me. Yeah, it was. I lived in still Westchester, but my father would take me to the city, and New York City was so different back then. It just, people were broke. A lot of people didn't have money in the 70s either. So, so we had a few dollars because of what my father was doing. But yeah, it was a whole different world. But that's actually a really good question. Thank you for that, Elise. Appreciate it.
Shay says, nice to see Uncle Joey live again. Welcome back, brother.
Hey, Shay. Good to see you. Thanks for coming on, man. Appreciate it. Yeah. Wow, haven't seen you in a while. Thanks, bro. Appreciate it.
The Sonny Grosso says, I think that other guy meant DeLuca, so Dennis DeLuca. Does that ring a bell?
I don't know if I knew a Dennis DeLuca. I knew Steven DeLuca. He was from the Bronx. He's actually the guy that him and a couple other guys, they jumped Dominick back in the days. But Dennis DeLuca does still sound familiar to me. And I bet you if I saw him, I might know him. And we might look him up. If you can remember to write that down, look him up, because you never know. But he sounds very familiar.
Johnny Provolone, you and Dom are the best in this genre.
Thanks, and I appreciate that, John. That really means a lot. That's why Dominick and I, we have a lot of things planned together, and of course Dominick has a lot of things on his own too, but we'd like to there's a good collaboration that we have, because he's got stuff I could actually verify, and of course he can verify the stuff that I would do too. So we're working on a lot of things, and we're going to come out with some more stuff too. But thank you for that. That means a lot. Thank you.
Step Evans says, hey, Joe, I watched you with Dominick recently, so I subscribed. You talk good about Dominick, and I respect that.
Thank you. Yeah, listen, even the guys that talk bad about me or give me the nasty comments and stuff like that, I don't mind. Listen, everybody's entitled to their opinion, and of course, I know Dominick since 1999. I think I met him. So we went through a lot of stuff together, Dominick and I. Believe it or not, not just wise guy stuff. I seen him. I knew his mom. I would call his mom up if I needed. We went through a lot of stuff, and it's kind of funny because I did time with people he grew up with, but we all knew each other because Westchester, New Rochelle, and the Bronx is not that far from each other. So we, but I'm not gonna even talk bad about somebody. Look, I didn't even really talk bad about my friend Pete, who done bad things to me. I said it like it is. I'm truthful. But even like with my friend Pete, it hurts me that he did what he did to me and stuff like that. Sure, it does. When you hang out with somebody and you do things together, and all the stuff we did and the fun we had, yeah, it bothers me. But he's the one who took the path he took, and I took the path I took. But make no mistake, he knew what I was doing all along.
Shay says, Joe, how long did it take you to acclimate to civilian life after getting out of prison. It must have been a huge culture shock. Take care. Love you, bro.
Thank you, brother. Love you too, Shane. I appreciate that, bro. Yeah, that you gonna. I'm gonna tell you the truth, okay? So when I came home, was sitting in the dark for almost 5 years. Yeah. Okay, my PTSD, I didn't really know what I had. That I heard about it, but I thought it was for soldiers or people in wars and stuff like that. The psychiatrist subscribed me Klonopin. Okay, now I don't know if you guys know what it is. You can look it up. But I was on Klonopin for the brain, and I had to be on that for a while. I weaned myself off it because I'm not the kind of guy that wants to be like have a crutch, if you want to say it like that. I don't want to rely on that. I wanted to try to get myself out of it. For like almost 5 years, I sat in a room. I didn't go out. Then when I moved out of New Rochelle after a year, I was home. I did the same thing at home. I was afraid to go around. I was in a new environment. Yeah, it messed me up pretty bad. But that was a good question, and I'm still in therapy to this day. I still wake up with dreams, you know. But that's a good question. Thank you for that. Appreciate it.
R. Cole says Dominick needs to be the governor of Florida.
We are all going to sign up for. We've been trying to get in touch with the Donald Trump's. What's his thing that you sign? You can text him and email him. Donald Trump.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, we're going to do that for Dominick because Dominick should definitely be the governor. If Dominick was the governor, that's it. I'll be in the office down there. But yeah, because look, I think even what's his name, Johnny Elite, I think have to be like something like that, an assemblyman or something like that.
Councilman or something.
A councilman,
right?
assemblyman, yeah. And listen, and he's probably doing a good job. So, but I think I know Dominick would do it. Dominick puts 110% in everything he does. Even if he thinks he's failing, he'll still go. He won't give up that easy. That's the same way he was since I known him.
Step Evans says, I agree with Johnny Provolone. You and Dom are awesome.
Wow, thank you, Step. I appreciate that. I try. Look, like I said, I'm going to bring some stories. I was talking to my friend Charlie Buono. I'm talking to a few people to see what's what and how much I can put out there. And I really appreciate that. You guys, I appreciate you guys so much out there because without you guys, you guys, and I love the questions you come up with. I love the stuff you want to know. So I try to do everything I can, and thank you for that.
Oh, R. Cole says they called him Fat Dennis, the Dennis DeLuca guy.
Oh, really?
Fat
Yeah. Then I don't know that nickname, so I probably don't know him. I might have seen him, but I definitely heard the name. It could just be because it just could be just a common name too for me too to hear. But geez, I wish I had a picture of him. But if you guys can send one, you never know.
I'll try to look one up.
Yeah, maybe my guy will try to look him up. And like I said, because I knew Steven, he was a good-looking guy, Steven. I mean, he used to walk at the Hawaii Sea, him, Paulie, Lenny from L Jam, and they used to be in the Hawaii Sea, and even the girls with their boyfriends would be looking at him going like this when he walked by. He had like that kind of sandy, that blondish hair with the hazily eyes or whatever. Yeah, I don't know. That's a good picture. Yeah, I don't know. I'm glad. I don't know him, so now it's definitely don't know.
I showed Joe a picture.
Yeah.
Elise Buer says, your era does seem cooler and more authentic. I've always been a little jealous of people who got to live before the smartphone era.
Oh, yeah. Let me tell you something, Elise. That I have to agree with you because it just, it was nice to come home. Yet you had more structure, if that's what you want to say. You came home. Somebody tell you, hey, listen, you so-and-so called you, and then you were excited. It was like, oh, let me call my friend back, or, whatever. It was different. I listen, if I don't cook for myself or if my girl don't cook for me, I don't have no home-cooked meals. Okay, now, I can tell you right now, most of the time I'm eating tuna fish and, maybe a dish of macaroni I'll make myself, or maybe a fish dish or whatever that you guys might have seen on some of my shorts or whatever. But I don't really cook for myself. But when you have a home-cooked meal, you're healthier, you're better, you kind of get around the table with whoever you're eating with, and that's the way to go. So, me and my girl are working on that. Anyways, we're trying to get together. We're gonna move in together. We're gonna get and we're gonna have a better structure. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, those eras were way better. I mean, even the pot that I smoked back then was even good. It was like more weed. Now they put different. You can have this one to speed you up. You can have this one to do this. You can have to do that. I don't know about all that science, but what was wrong with just a little bag of Thai weed? But thank you for that.
Gerald Southam says, Joe, you can tell you're a respectful guy. I guess that's the good side of being brought up in that life. Knowing Ace Aiello, what do you think he'll do once he's released from prison?
Ace is a tough guy, and I appreciate the thank you for that compliment too. I try to be respectful, but Ace is a tough guy. He's the real deal. Matter of fact, I think when I was talking to Louis Electric, who was the captain too, and I had to go report to him when Dominick went away, and Dominick and Ace had a fight or something like that. I don't know how many they were back to back, and Louis said, "I'll put those guys up against anybody." I think that I would hope that Anthony would kind of walk away out of that life, but I don't know if he's going to. But he's definitely, he will take orders. He will follow the orders of whoever he's going to be around, and if he's going to be in that life. But I wish him the best. I liked Anthony, and he was tough. I wouldn't mess with him. I remember he was lifting 600 pounds off the floor like it was nothing. The guy's an animal.
F. Skiven says, "You're the man, Joe. Did you meet Gotti?"
Yeah, I spoke to his son a couple of times when I was in my last bid, but I was supposed to meet John on my first bid. A lot of guys were saying I guess I was kind of in a decent mood before I started cooperating with the government, and I was at MCC getting my what they call a superseding indictment. So there was George the Greek there. There was Fat Tony Salerno's I don't know if it was his brother or his cousin or something like that was there. Another guy they called the General that was there. And so I was in the hospital, whatever the case may be, going through some whatever I was doing there. And they said, listen, he says, John wants to see you. And I said, he wants to see me? Now, I didn't realize it, but a lot of guys told him, because I used to cut hair. I cut my own, as I think I told everybody one time before. I cut a few of my friends' hairs over the time. I even cut Dominick's hair once, too, when we were home. But he didn't want nobody else touching his hair. But meanwhile, they said I was kind of funny. I would joke around, lighten up the mood a little bit, I mean, I don't know how to make somebody laugh when you're going to be doing life in prison, but you try. Take their mind off of it. But I said, okay. So they says, listen, go to the chapel this Sunday. John's going to be there with everybody. All the buddies going to be there. And then he'll talk to you for a few minutes. If he likes you, he'll get you moved up to where he was. I said, okay. Well, I go there to go for chapel, but they canceled it for some reason. So I said, okay. I figured I'll just go to next Sunday because everybody, it's like just what you do. Well, I got shipped back from MCC after my superseding indictment, and then I go back to Otisville. And then after that, I went to Valhalla, and then after that, they gave you the diesel therapy, and I finally wound up in Milan, Michigan. But, excuse me, I was looking forward to meeting John, but at the same time, I was like nervous too, But I would have liked to meet him because he was the real deal too. When they say he was the last of the Mohicans, he definitely was at that time. Yep.
R. Cole says, is that why Dom is losing some of his hair? LOL.
I don't know. Sometimes it comes with age. Sometimes, listen, I got myself too. I lost hair. Most of my hair from the front here is all hair transplants that I had. But I don't know. But no, it's definitely, I did cut Dominick's hair once. Pressed his clothes when he was going out once. Yeah, Dom, we got like a lot of history behind us. You know what I mean? So.
David Goulman says, what is your favorite Italian dish?
Oof. I like, I used to eat angel hair pasta with the puttanesca sauce, which is, you got olives, capers, you got a couple of different things, and I used to love that. I used to go to this one place in Pellamana, and it was, I was going there like a couple of days a week to eat that. When you had a lot of money, you could go, listen, you go out to eat. That's it. But I used to like lasagna, but only the way my mother made it. Now, I know a lot of people put meat in their lasagna, but my mother didn't. So she used to actually make me a tray of lasagna for myself. So she'd make 2 trays, whatever was left over from eating that Sunday, I would finish it up the next day or that later that night, and then I'd eat the lasagna for 2-3 days after that. I didn't care because it kept tasting better and better. But it's kind of hard. There's so many great Italian dishes.
Real quick, I just wanted to say, if you're watching, you haven't liked the video, go ahead and give it a like. It helps us out a lot. And share it with your friends if you'd like. And send in all your comments. We're going to do a few more here.
Yep.
Before we get off for the day. Sonny Grosso says, make some tuna, onions, and baby shells, a little mayo, and refrigerate for a few hours, and bam.
There you go. Yeah, that's a good dish. I'm going to actually put some more. A lot of you guys have been asking me, so I'm going to actually put a couple more cooking videos together. I'm going to try to get even cooking videos with Dominick too, if I can. But yeah, I'm definitely going to put some more videos. I mean, real food, not just the prison food. I'll do one like with a prison, what I used to eat in there, like I've done, and then I'll do some that I do really at home. It's a lot easier it's different to cook when you're in your own kitchen than when you have to worry about the microwave and you've got 7 guys behind you waiting to use it. You know what I mean?
CarmineSmash says, Jojo, we love you, brother. And also, he's been a member for 7 months.
Wow.
A member of the channel.
Thank you, Carmine. Appreciate that, as always. Listen, like I said, you guys ever want any new content or any kind of things you want me to talk about or something you heard or something you don't know about the life or whatever, I'll be more than happy to answer it. You know what I mean? Absolutely.
Sonny Grosso says that
when I was younger, it was about an inch lower, so it was about right up to here. Okay, so if you could see it, then in the driveways, I call these driveways the dent. But it was a little lower. But it is what it is. I still got hair on my head, thank God. And I went to Bernstein Medical. He was the best one that I found. Dominick went someplace else, but they did a nice job on him. As I was looking at his hair when I was down there, and it looks excellent. They did a really nice job. But my guy actually taught a lot of people how to do it. He was the one who came up and invented the one strand hair by hair. Okay, he invented the tool and everything, because years ago you used to be able to get like that doll head look. So, but thank you for that. Appreciate it.
Step Even says, will you and Dom be doing another live show soonish?
Yeah, we'll probably do one even here. But like I said, Dominick and I are in a lot of talks. We're having a lot of serious talks now about I might be with him soon, like that. So we're going back and forth. But yeah, definitely. I'll also ask Dominick. Dominick told me he'll come on anytime. He's always very gracious like that. Yep.
Johnny Provolone says, thanks for the live, brother. See you on the next one or on Dom's show.
Absolutely, John. Thank you so much. I'll be seeing you too on there. I'll get on Dominick's show. Of course, you'll see the comments and stuff. And I appreciate it. You always tuning in. Thank you so much.
CarmineSmash says, hey, Joe, play a quick...
Well, this is a show for 4,000 subscribers. Thanks for tuning in, yeah. See you on the next Goodfellow without you. But now we have to go. Well, I'll see you soon on the show. That's enough, guys. Hey, listen, thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it. We'll see you. I'll have a little content again, hopefully maybe this week. You guys enjoy the rest of it. Peace and love.